Okay, that is definitely enough of that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 36 of Left for Random Talk. Rev has just arrived. Yay. If you're hearing noise from me, it's because I'm eating cereals. Hope everybody had a great holiday. But yeah, this podcast is something that me and my friend Rev have been working on for years. The time schedule has changed from being late at night to early in the day. By early, I mean like 2 p.m. Western time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, if that makes sense. We got one hell of a show tonight. Oh crap, I should probably change that image to the previous. There we go. That's better. No more Christmas stuff. Christmas is over. Yeah, I think he's gonna add that to the list. Just waiting patiently for him to show up. Boo! Fortnite sucks. But what's that, what's the number one? Hello, Rev.
Hello, I am here.
I have the
What
list
have I
up.
missed?
Hmm?
What have I missed?
I just gave the usual spiel about what the show is. And, chat Elementalist in the Twitch chat is talking about how Fortnite has been passed by for number one stream in the US, and it's only one stream. I don't know what stream they're talking about.
I see. All right, connection's a bit iffy, so you know.
Crypt of the Necrodancer? Wow. Anything is better than Fortnite.
All right, hello everyone. Hello. We are live. We are here.
Yeah.
I am here now. So yeah, have you covered the whole list then?
No, not yet.
All right, then
they have been talking about the news that popped up about an hour ago about Bungie.
Right. The whole bit with oh god, Halo and things of that nature. Yes. Excuse me. Anyway, again,
You're a little choppy.
I know. Connection is pretty poor on my end.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm just finding ways to kind of deal with it best I can. So yeah, let's get right into it then. So as the list says, we've got a few things going on this week in terms of news. So there's that. So let's get right into it. Someone's contacting me.
Oh no, it's just LiveBot is not doing anything. Yeah, Elementalist.
Fucking LiveBot, go away.
No, it needs to alert. That's the problem. And it's not alerting.
That's my point. It's like you fucking suck. Yes, I'm aware of that. All right, so let's just kind of get into it. So, first on our list is it's been in the works for quite a while now, ironically.
Hmm.
And that is Matt Pat finally getting called out by a game creator who is pissed about what he's doing. And as the title says, Matt Pat gets called out by Toby Fox, aka the guy who made Undertale and Deltarune, for hurting indie games for not tagging the name of the games he streams and not linking back to the game's location. Yeah. Next is the next Alien game, Alien as in, Alien versus Predator kind of thing, is going to be on mobile. And people are not happy about that. Diablo Immortal all over again. Blizzard is going down in flames as the company loses more and more employees, CEOs, and so on. Then we also are going to be covering that whole scandal, the fake gamer girl, and what happened with that. Moving right along, we have the the news everyone's been dreading now in terms of grind, and that is excuse me, and that is Warframe getting new forma types, the Umbra forma and the Omega forma. This might be the worst thing for the game than it is good. And we have Metro Exodus open world trailer was released, and we'll be kind of talking about that towards the end. Then we have the monthly things. So yeah, that's our list. Again, not much happening due to a slow news week as always. So,
Other than last week, on Saturday was my birthday.
Yes, and happy birthday, all the same. You know what's funny? I did say last week that tune in next time for when Bethesda makes another fuck up, and true to my prediction, they've done it again. But I purposely didn't put anything on there.
Because we've been talking about it so damn much.
Exactly, and it's so minor, we might as well not cover it.
Let's just put it simple. Bethesda has shot itself in the other foot again.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, let's get into it. So we'll start with the big one, and one I think everyone will be excited to hear, and that is the situation with Matt Pat. So basically, about a few, I believe, days ago, roughly, give or take, Matt Pat, aka the guy behind the Game Theory show, which produces rather shit theories with very little evidence very little compelling evidence, and of course, his constant and blatant art theft in his thumbnails and everything, has finally been called out because he's been I believe he was playing or streaming a game, and he announced no, he didn't even say what the game was, and purposely put like Undertale in the tags for the stream to get more people to it, and refused to link back to the source of the game he was playing, nor use the proper titles in the tags description. And basically, when people start calling him out on it on Twitter, he did the corporation slash CEO thing, which is blame the employees and just basically insult everyone. And that's what he did. Which isn't surprising. Again, we're talking about the guy who does art theft for a living and makes mad views off of said shitty theories that really don't amount to anything. So this isn't beyond the pale.
Hi, welcome to Mario Galaxy. We're going to find out how Mario Galaxy is the origin of Five Nights at Freddy's. What?
Exactly. That's exactly his whole shtick. It's always possessing, bringing up some incredibly retarded theory and clickbait on his videos, and then when you get into it, it's like it has nothing to do with what he's advertising. Or when he does bring up the theory in the video itself, it's so minuscule and pittance in comparison that you just can't take it seriously. You know, it's just so retardedly stupid. And of course, one of his biggest is the biggest ones he's got is Five Nights at Freddy's and um, Undertale being the two big ones that have been making him tons of money.
Uh,
and go ahead.
The thing is, Toby Fox is not wrong at all about him hurting indie games.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, Five Nights at Freddy's had a story. It had a very well made story, but because Matt Pat overanalyzed everything and had Elementalist said now is not the time to be asking stuff like that.
What do you ask?
Should I download Warframe now that I can run it on my PC?
Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a podcast, not a gaming stream. Anyway,
it's like there's nothing on screen. You're fine.
Yeah. When Matt Pat started digging into theories and stuff like that, just like pushing theories out and going crazy with it, the story of Five Nights at Freddy's kept changing over and over and over to the point where we have this mess that we have now.
Exactly.
It has killed the franchise. Though, granted, the merchandise is still selling like hotcakes. It's still a very much loved series. It's just because of what Matt Pat has started, Scott Cawthon had to change the story to the point where it didn't make sense.
Yeah, like what was it originally? That basically it's all in a little kid's head, basically. Like all the games are just part of his coma dream before he dies. Wasn't that like the original story?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember enjoying that more because it made sense. None of the games made sense going in. I mean, yeah, it was fun to kind of like humor the idea that it really was a fucked, like the spirits of the children were possessing animatronics and yada yada. That was fun. But this, when it was revealed to be the case, we're telling the kids, or what's left of the kid's brain, and he just passes away. I was fine with it. Like this is like I sat there and said, you know what, this is fine. This makes sense. I feel sorry, but it's a well told story.
Yeah.
But then when Matt Pat does his thing and basically, in fact, you know what's funny? I remember this very clearly when the Five Nights at Freddy's story was finally concluded with the fourth one, with all the nightmare machines, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that Matt Pat immediately created a video in which he was not directly saying but it was more along the lines of, how do I say it? You know the concept of slide dissing?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you say something mean, but you say it in such a way that nobody will take it seriously, but the intent is there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What he did was when the final game came out and when the story was finally revealed, Matt Pat did that. He was putting words in people's mouths, claiming that people would be angry about this and that the truth would ruin the franchise as a whole, and then immediately begins to talk about how, but what if it was like this, and this? Basically, he indoctrinated the idea of this is a shit ending for your game, and then he, like I said, he basically did this just to keep his money train flowing effectively.
In all
Again,
honesty, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, again, we can trace back the entire Five Nights at Freddy's, what is it now, multiverse or something?
Mm-hmm.
This whole fuckery back to Matt Pat's original video.
Mm-hmm.
Now go ahead. What were you going to say?
From a gaming sense, a story like that is actually a lot better than if it was a TV series. And I'm saying that because there was actually a TV series where when the show ended, we find out that the entire few seasons were all a made-up imagination of a child with autism. And nobody liked it. Because it was like the dumbest thing ever.
Mhm.
But from a gaming standpoint, it fits very, very well because a child's imagination is so powerful, even if they've been struck with trauma like that kid did. So for them to come up with a Five Nights at Freddy's characters that not only scared this kid to death when they're alive or awake, but also, they loved as toys, that is very, very much possible. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like this made sense. It was very obvious that this was probably Scott's original goal for these series. Because again, look back what he used to make. He made kid-friendly video games,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, I don't think he's some devious man who wants to terrify the world. No, I honestly think that his point of creating the Five Nights at Freddy's games was to capitalize on how disturbing his models were, but also to kind of paint that image that kids when they see something like this, it's horrifying, it's evil.
Yeah.
That's basically what it could have been.
The entire premise of Five Nights at Freddy's, the entire creation, was because of one negative review on one of his games, where they said something in a character in one of his games looked like a very creepy animatronic, like absolutely terrifying animatronic or a robot. And he went, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make a game based around that. Fuck you.
And it not only went well, it exploded
Yeah.
into what it is now. But again, going back to the main point, issue here is that Matt Pat makes is popular and makes his living, again in quotations here, off of just saying a bunch of theories and just spouting a lot of bullshit, basically,
I think
and not in the.
by the time it reached the theory crafting where they took a game that is not even related to Five Nights at Freddy's, just going back to that for example, people have now realized, okay, this is all just a joke. It's not meant to be serious anymore.
Yeah, and this is the thing I have to point out. There's a guy here called Vadi Videos or Vidya or however you want to pronounce it, and his whole thing is that he critically analyzes the lore for unlike Matt Pat, who will just make up bullshit on the spot in an attempt to, like I said, get the clicks and get people watching his clickbait videos. He actually puts effort, time, and proposes
Mm-hmm.
a possible story to the game, like around a set of armor or a character we don't know about but is talked about in the game. And then from there he kind of builds up a story, and it's very clear he's making it up as he goes along. And he even says at the end of the videos, if comment down below what you guys think. I could be wrong, and maybe I missed something. And then whenever someone does point out some interesting points he missed, or suggests something, he doesn't just shoot them down because they're
He takes
rewriting
what
what
they're
I've done.
saying into consideration.
And he's actually gone back to previous videos and has released rethought and redone versions based on the new information they provide. Yeah.
This is more towards like games like Ark or The Isle, something like that, just dinosaur based games. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a theory crafter that I've actually linked you many times before because of Ark's new game, Anthomnia. For a time, Anthomnia had a problem where
Mm-hmm.
he clickbaited heavily, and it got a lot of like negative marks on his channel because he would post a video of, oh, this brand new dinosaur is being released in the Isle, it's going to kill everybody, and you go to it and it shows you nothing of this dinosaur. There's no hints of this dinosaur existing. And then, like, a couple days down the line, the dinosaur never releases. But lately, that has stopped. He'll actually put in the title what he's going to talk about, and then in the video, he actually talks about it. So he's gone from being somewhat like MatPat to being a little bit more professional about what he's doing.
Perfect. That's all I can say. They're just absolutely perfect then.
Like, this shows you that there are some people who can change better than what he has done.
Exactly. And again, so the main crux of the issue is that when this whole stream happened, and I many streamers out there where they won't add tags in after their streams
Mm-hmm.
or during their streams, which leads to a big, people can't find the videos or the views become low and yet, just shit of that nature. And then, by the time they realize, hey, we're fucking up, too late there. I mean, I'm not sure how we do our streams. I assume we tag everything we talk about.
You know how my brain works very well. I spaz, and about half an hour before the stream starts, I make a mad dash to adjust all the tags. But if I don't change the tags, it's because I'm very tired or because I haven't taken my medication for the day.
Fair enough. But that's the thing. So there are people out there who do things like that, get everything set up before the show or, plan ahead. One or the other doesn't really matter. Excuse me, doesn't use to link any of the sources of the game he was playing. In fact, for it was that they don't link back to non-fan created games because they're not fan created, like for them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they believe that just by having it, the game shown on their stream, people will just find it automatically, free publicity effectively. And that's not the case. And people were, they were calling the guy out and he's like, oh, I don't care. Enter Toby Fox, who in a tweet basically ousts MatPat and flat out says what he does is bad for the indie scene. And that he is, I'm not going to say pariah. It's more like he points out how shit MatPat's being. And it's even clear that, hold on. Let me check something, because I remember someone talking about about I can't talk about this, and there was like something about a legal issue was now being posed against MatPat. Let me check real quick.
The only time I can think of where you're not tagging or titling a game appropriately is if it's a game that you know is really good, but have people like fucking Nintendo breathing down your neck, ready to pounce and shut you down for not giving them money. Point in case, when somebody streams a fan-made Pokemon game, they will title the game as a different Pokemon title so that Nintendo will not shut them down, because it is a very, very hard-worked game. It's very beautiful. Granted, it's just pretty much a replica, but it is being made and played for free. Nobody is paying to play it. And that's not something Nintendo likes. But if you're playing, say, Undertale, but you're titling your game Undertale, but you're playing something that's 3D, first-person shooter, some shit like that, that ain't right. That is vastly different.
Sorry. Okay, I'm still looking.
Yeah.
So far, there's no. Hold on. Yeah, but MatPat basic. Okay, here we go. Toby Fox calls out Pat for screwing over. Here we go. So the developer he didn't credit and didn't link back to is called Pirate Software. That's the group. And let's see. There's nothing about legal issues so far. And the game he played was Heartbound. Again, didn't link back to anything. And let's see. Yeah, that's about it so far. There's also a tweet from Toby Fox basically saying basically saying the following: fan theories are fun, but I feel embarrassed whenever someone calls attention to 16. I guess I should accept Bad ROM hacks with swears as part of my internal legacy. Poor fellow. But yeah, that again, slide this to Matt. Fuck off. All right. But yeah, there's nothing here about a uh what is it? There's nothing about a legal issue that could happen to MatPat. However, people are what's this? Okay. Thank you, LT. Sorry. Sent me a message privately. I guess we'll add this into the conversation. Anyway, sorry. I'm like 100 different places. But basically,
Oops.
Toby Fox. What?
I actually clicked. I didn't know it was a video. I thought it was a GIF. It started making noise.
Fair enough. But basically, MatPat has been called out um, by Toby Fox, and basically Toby is not happy with MatPat. The moment that Toby called him out, he immediately backpedals on everything. He goes back to his tweets, amends them, and then immediately starts linking back to Pirate Software and um, Heartbound. And this, again, this is very telling about MatPat too. The moment someone he's making money off tells him, "Hey, how about you fucking stop?" He'll to his little chair and go like, "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir." Again, like a submissive bitch, effectively. And yeah, honestly, I'm quite. What's the word I'm looking for here? Again, I'm. The
Whoa, robot.
hold on, systems again. That just give it a going crazy. Let me know when I'm like normal. How's that? Am I
Nope.
fine? Is it still bad?
Still bad.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on. All right, let's see if that worked now. Am I still like
No, you're actually better now.
okay? Good. Right. Basically, I'm not like saying, "Oh, is this the end of Toby?" Not Toby. Is this the end of MatPat? Is this where his channel starts falling apart? No, I'm not going to say that because I don't think that is the case. To me, I think it's more about MatPat just got a slap across the face and is basically like, it's more like a wake up reminder that, hey, you better knock that shit out. First warning kind of thing. That's what I think it was. But again, with people like him who just, they can't leave anything alone, you know? The moment they get called out or the moment something bad happens, it kind of enters the domino effect where they'll just keep doing fuck up after fuck up, and it will eventually lead them to what's the word? Something will happen is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of let's wait and see. He does something stupid again.
Whoa.
What?
No, you went robot like crazy there. You still understood what you said though.
Right. Well, basically, if he does something stupid, people will catch him on that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if it's the case of if he pulls a DSP and just basically starts telling the people who support his ass, what's the word, to fuck off, then you know where this is going to go. Basically, is what I'm saying. So yeah, moving on. So our next topic, where is it? Where is it? Here we are. So the next Alien. Ugh. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Eh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. So the next Alien game is called Alien Blackout.
Oh, goody.
Now you would think, oh, that's really cool, but in reality, it's like it's terrible. Basically, according to the sources and things I've heard about, Alien Blackout is a direct sequel to, or is a possibly direct sequel to, oh God, what's
Isolation?
the word? Yes, that's what some people are saying. That there are talks that you might be playing, um, uh, Ellen Ripley's daughter again, having survived isolation somehow, and finding yourself
Whoa.
in a
Robot again.
finding yourself.
Nope. Can't understand you.
I don't know why it's acting up now.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm just going to look into blackout real quick, just to be sure I'm not like getting my wires crossed here.
Okay.
Let's see. Blackout Alien Anthology. So wait a minute, is this taking place before everything? Hold on, I need to see this. Give me 1 second.
Also, Elementalist, I don't really know.
Okay, now I know what the game's about.
Oh.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
So this is basically what it is. You are on a station, right? Space station,
Hmm.
and there was an alien on the ship. Ship, space station, I don't know. And basically the idea is that you have to keep power going on your space station, which is running out by the way, and try to keep the crew alive. Like shut down power to areas where the alien is so it gets trapped or things of that nature. Hence why it's called blackout. Because once the power goes out, you die.
Wow.
That is so very sad. I now see why people are so angry about this. It's so here I'll show the the screenshot for the new, I guess, UI or the map you're basically going to be controlling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's all camera based. So I'm guessing that when you are, yeah, pretty much it's a slap in the face. So I'm guessing from the trailers, the point of view will be through the cameras. you will be controlling your character through this map with the objective of reaching an area and then trying to wait for the alien to leave, basically. And if power runs out, I guess you can't see in that corridor, and then you basically get killed. Ironic, isn't it? We Five Nights at Freddy's.
It returns to stab us in the butt.
Yes,
Also, how
yes,
long has
yes.
it been since Mark has made a butt stabber joke?
4 years, I would say.
God dang, he needs to bring that back. Because that actually used to be my Steam name. The real butt stabber. Why is my volume so loud?
I don't know.
Turn it down. Turn you up.
Oh, God. I can't. It's happening. I just. Who thought this was a good idea? Why would you do this? Uh, God. And you know what's funny?
Hmm.
Kojima is actually a fan of the Alien movies too. I'm just picturing him sitting there like, what doing?
No, I can bring my swimming pool to outer space.
No,
It's gone
now
from
it just
swimming pool to just being the oxygen tank.
pretty much, yeah. No, he just fills an entire room on the space station with with its drugs.
And he just flows
It
through like.
just yeah, it looks like a gigantic snow globe. Oh my God, I feel so I feel sick now. It's like, what is happening to my childhood here?
It went from being absolutely amazing with puppetry and gore to Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the idea is sound. It makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
I like the concept. It's just one, don't have it, and two, don't make it fucking Five Nights and Freddy's.
It would have been better if it was like a first person, like even though in like I've been playing Skyrim so much, in Skyrim is super annoying. Xenomorph for Smash. No. It is super annoying to have a crowd of people with you in Skyrim. Like last night I was doing a mission, I was supposed to clear out a cave filled with vampires, and the entire village wanted to go with, but the walkthrough tells you, don't let these people go with you, they will die. And they still follow you to the cave, they just don't go in. But it's so stressful to have a group of people following you and trying to keep them safe. In this case, it would actually be good to have a group of people following you, and you have to be the one that seals off the doors and keeps them safe.
Or better yet, it could be even if you have to do the alien isolation thing again, just first person alone, it could work, you know? You're going through doorways, you hear the computer lady saying power at 5%, and then you have to hack into a small terminal, make sacrifices, decide where you have to cut the power while you can hear the alien moving around or hissing or whatever. That would be terrifying. That would
Mm-hmm.
be amazing. But it's gonna be a fucking iPhone game, and you know what they're gonna do. Pay $5 so you can have more power.
Pay $5 to give yourself more time, or to use this upgrade that sends the alien in another direction because it thought it heard something.
Exactly. And that's the thing I think is what's gonna happen now. They're moving away from action combat focused iPhone games to games that will punish you for not being careful, i.e., survival horror. That is the one place where I know they're gonna be. This is where this predatory system is gonna basically survive the most. You know it, I know it, the world knows it. Yet, ironically, they're stupid enough that they haven't even realized it yet. Just why?
Oy vey.
People are dumb. So yeah, look forward to Rev's reviews of Alien Blackout. Spoiler alert, it's gonna suck.
Spoiler alert, he didn't even get it. He
Exactly.
didn't even play it. Here's the review. It's shit.
Exactly. It's just
I've noticed that, like, ever since Bethesda started shooting itself in the foot over and over and over again every single week, our topics have gone to absolute shit. Like, we're always so pissed when we do the show. Like, by the end of the show, we're relieved to stop.
pretty much.
Like each topic goes from happy to fucking rage.
It's just the sound of just horrible ringing noises.
Oh, I gotta find that GIF now.
But yeah. So yeah, look forward for that. Let's go on to the next bit of anger then. And that is Blizzard. My god, Blizzard, what are you doing? Stop being stupid. So for those of you who don't know, Blizzard has been basically taking. But let me get this out of the way. I believe personally that Blizzard is dead. It is now. Activision has just, like the parasite it has slowly infested and has just basically killed Blizzard. Now it's just the shell. And it's horrible. We're seeing people leaving the company left and right, CEOs being fired over the most petty of shit from Activision. And now we come into the scandal. So about, what was it, a week ago? A day ago? Something of that nature?
I don't
Basically, someone, a quote-unquote gamer girl, got onto Blizzard's professional esports team for Overwatch. And for a while, people were like, okay, it's, most people, most normal people didn't really care about it. Is she talented? Did she do it? Okay, who cares? Good for her. She made it onto the team. Why is this a big deal? Well, as it turns out, and no, I don't mean like she was a hand puppet or something. No, no, no. I mean, the girl was real, but the player wasn't. As it turns out, I believe the guy's called like Punished or Punish. I forget what his name is. But basically, he was an Overwatch player who, for the longest time, just couldn't make it onto an esports team. Or he was skilled, but Blizzard wasn't giving him a chance to join. So he poses as a gamer girl, and Blizzard immediately puts him on the spot, puts him on a team, and starts praising and saying how amazing he is as a woman. Yada, and this is horrifying. This is I hate to use this, but this is flat out sexism. This really is. And I hate to say this. I hate to bring this shit in, but when a company actually does off, and I have to talk about it. So this is where things get more hectic. People, trying to cover their horrible PR move, trying not to get screwed over by the blatant sexism they're doing. And then we enter the second bit of this scandal, I suppose, and that is with Soldier 76. You heard about this, right?
Yeah, I've seen that popping up.
This whole this whole retcon that he's actually a gay man out of nowhere to distract as it is the people, so that way Blizzard isn't put into more. My honest question is, does it matter? Does it really matter if he's a gay man or not? Does it affect his character? Does this affect the game at all? Does it?
I don't know. There's like the people behind Overwatch really enjoy the fan made theories and like the fan made creations. Like the voice actress for Diva loves the little gremlin version of Diva because she's so cute. And they've all latched on to the idea of, like, everybody being a family, pretty much. And, one of
I can see it. You can see it on the screen.
and, I'm gonna get rid of that. That's distracting. And, there was one idea, like, one fan-made creation was that Soldier 76, what's his name? Lucio and Diva will sometimes play games together.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, obviously 76 will play, like, older games. Like, games from our current time. While they played newer games.
Now, great. Now you're making me feel old.
Well, in comparison with their, like, what time it is for them, they would be playing something like Five Nights at Freddy's, and that would be considered an ancient game, like a collectible. Or Warframe. Like, I can imagine that, like, Soldier 76 is playing a classic game. It's fucking Warframe. And he pauses, he looks over and sees Genji.
And he's like,
immediately
says, I have... No, just immediately says, I have an idea. Insert to the next cosplay event. But no, like I said, but this is the thing that it's fine, all right? Like, I mean, look at me, for God's sakes. I love, both sexes. I don't care. This isn't who I am, you know? It's like, you know me. I'm a brute. I love to fight. I love to brawl, yada, yada, yada. Does it matter? Is it who I am? No, it's just, hey, I like this. And we move on. That is it. From beginning to end.
Look, brothers, tits.
Exactly.
You're both that voice line as well as the gif of that guy that suddenly goes, is that a penis? But it's the reverse kind where he goes, is that a penis? And leans back smiling. That's what you are.
Again, yeah, but that's my point. I don't, like I said, this isn't me. This isn't, hey, Rev, the bisexual fellow over there. No. It's like, most of the time people are like, oh, it's Rev, the brute with the minigun.
I just remember you as the one with the skull mask.
There, or the skull mask. Either or, what I like does not define who I am. And by that same merit, whatever's like doesn't define him as a character. His actions and his life in general is what defines him as a character. This bit with the gay man in the photograph thing, again, this is like filler. This is non-important, especially to the game itself. I mean, is there going to be a fucking 5 voice lines where Soldier 76 it suddenly turned into a raging? If it's if the answer is no, then there's, again, this little bit of information it's nice, but pointless in terms of the game.
This is actually a joke among me and the others, specifically Snow and crew. I was not part of their D&D game, but this is something that everybody jokes about because it's something that Liam said. There is a time and a place to explain, like, to have you're interested, like, to explain your life, to explain your background. Soldier 76 is a gamer. Great. Does it have anything to do with the gameplay? No? Okay. We don't need to know that. We already assume a majority of these people play video games of some kind. We don't need to know this. It's not something to be shoved in your throat. But the joke is, the party rescued Liam's character from prison. And he's like a paladin. Right. And they're carrying him out of the jail. And he suddenly blurts out, I was raised by dragons, while he's half dead. And his character dies like 5 minutes later. And he has to make a new character. So there is now an ongoing joke of whenever somebody says something that we don't need to hear, like we don't really need to know this. It doesn't matter. It's not it's not an appropriate time to know. We'll suddenly go, I was raised by dragons, and leave it at that.
Exactly, and like I said, and this is the point I'm trying to make, is like, this whole thing would have been nice in any other instance, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, the context of this information coming out, basically, what was it? What's the old woman's name?
Anna,
Oh my god, the one, is it Anna? The one that got shot?
Anna. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hello, cat.
basically,
Fuck off, cat.
we,
No,
we
go
don't know
away.
we don't know someone called Cat. She's literally being mauled by her cat.
She's meowing at me, and I have to keep my eye on her, or else she'll try and chew on the router.
It's like, no, fuck off,
Like,
cat.
fuck off. That costs so much money. Carry on.
Just get the laser pointer and just
We don't
point it
have one.
around.
In fact, my
God damn it, but
actually we have one. Just whenever we get a laser pointer, my parents immediately take it to their room so they can use it. Because she's not allowed in their room either.
fair enough, then just buy one in secret. Attach it to the keychains. But anyway, like I said, so basically the whole aspect of this is, I've just recently found out about this, so I don't know much. But basically, Anna is talking with Soldier 76. They meet up again, and she mentions someone Soldier 76 used to was romantically entangled with, basically, a fellow like that. And basically, what happened is that the I'm trying to think here. Basically, she inquires about him, makes a rather poor joke at his expense, and says, you know, if you probably still care about him. I know that Gabriel would have an entire what's the name of his organization? Not Talon, the other one. The Blackwatch, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she jokes and says, "I'm pretty sure Gabriel could have Blackwatch squad to keep an eye on him." And he's like, he shoots her the murder glances, and she's like, "Okay, okay, touchy subject." And that's, and he just basically says that, things happened, they didn't stay together, and now the guy just has a family and is living, his own life, and that's the end of it. And that's fine. Again, this literally could have been put into any other Overwatch thing, comic, animation, whatever. And I wouldn't, nobody would bat an eye to it. It's, you know what? It's, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's filler. It's a throwaway line you can say, and that's it. Like, if this was in any other animation or any other situation, it's a throwaway line at most. Dedicating an entire comic slash no, what was this? A novel? Look, I don't even know what the fucking thing is. But dedicating an entire novel or around this whole idea is just no. This isn't how
Just
you do
no.
things. Stupid. I mean, if it was another situation out there where the whole situation is like, I don't know, around Soldier 76, find complete happenstance, and they just kind of, talk and reminisce about what could have been. I'm okay with that because this is a small thing and it's a small arc. But making an entire thing about how gay again, it is pointless. It goes back to your whole "I was raised by dragons" line.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no, it's. I know. You know what's difficult about this? I'm like trying my best not to explain my point of view of this in the best way possible, so people don't start calling me every fucking name under the sun. You know? It's just I want to slap people now, basically. For you are all stupid. But yeah, like I said, and you know what makes this whole thing a bit worse? The fact that this information is released just as a scandal occurs. Dollars to donuts. There was no, and they did this just to get eyes off the scandal. I guarantee you. Hold on, let me. Damn thing, would you just respond, you fucking machine? I should just get. You know what? Maybe I will. I'll buy the world's biggest punching bag and just pummel it till the end of my days. Yeah. Okay. Here we are. So I'm just gonna send this to you.
Infinite eing.
Infinite E. God damn it. But yeah, so this is the entire thing, effectively. It was like that's the whole thing. Basically, it was a thing with a bunch of words and just, I think, 3 images. You know, like it's kind of like a graphic novel, except
This looks a bit
not.
more like a short story that you'd find in a magazine.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's just like I said. This just feels so off. And again, I'm going to be completely honest. He does not. Honestly, as the guy does not strike me as a gay fellow. Maybe it's my gaydar being off or whatever you want to call it.
I don't
Go
really like.
on.
You can't really take outside, or you can't take outside appearance as judgment there.
Oh no, I'm not talking about outside appearance. I'm talking about life in general. Like based on everything I've seen of him from beginning to life to middle of the life, I never assumed he was gay. I'm not saying
Well,
I have
that's
a
the
problem.
point.
Yeah, it's one of those moments. I'm surprised, but I'm not angry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like like I said, it's getting to that point where I'm like, I just want to scream at the world and say, "You're all just so fucking stupid." Just leave it at that. But yeah, I'm calling it now. They're gonna do something again following. When this goes poorly again, they're gonna release another. Someone else is now apparently gay again, as another form of deflection. Just wait for it. I'm pretty sure Winston and the hamster are gonna have some sort of thing.
No, everybody's been already like in. There's already been like a huge war about that.
Wait, really?
There has been a fandom war about people coming up with the idea of pairing Winston and the fucking hamster together, and then it went from it went from Winston to the hamster and one of the other characters, and then people like started calling back like, no, this is not going to work. It is a hamster. It is a tiny rodent. No. It lasted for quite a while. Like probably up until Halloween where people just gave up.
I can't imagine
I know.
something
But
like
like
this.
here's the funny thing. Here's the absolute funny thing that I found. I am a part of I do play Overwatch sometime. I have not played since like Christmas time. Um I saw a post where somebody showed Hammond and Winston's ages, like how old they are. And someone says it is perfectly okay for these two to be together. This guy is this many years old. And then somebody replied, "Are you forgetting the fact that this guy is only a couple ounces, only a couple inches tall?" And like they also highlight the weight of Winston and also the species. And then like they showed a picture comparison of a little pet hamster to a fucking silverback gorilla.
Oh,
And the
like I
response to
said.
that, Hammond was the one that's on top.
So stupid.
But yeah, there's been a fandom war about it. Dumb as hell.
Again, this is what I'm kind of worried. This is something I need to like point out with like um what's the word? This is like an issue I've been having as of late. Like I've now come to how dangerous fandoms are.
Hmm.
After I took a very serious look at Steven Universe, the people behind it, Overwatch, like all this, and I've now come to realize why people always say fandoms are a bad thing.
This is why humanity gave up. This is why I gave up on humanity so long ago. Yeah, yeah.
And now I see, like I said, now I see why people say fandoms are so terrible,
Yep.
and I can understand why. It's just, and again, I can't help but wonder if the creators of Overwatch are truly, what's the word? Are truly proud of what's happening, or if they're just like distraught by everything that the fandom has brought and kind of like ruined their game effectively,
They're
or what they
aware of.
had planned.
They are aware of what the fandom is doing. Like as I said, they love their little creations like Gremlin, Diva, and stuff like that. For the
Mhm,
most part, they try not to get into it because usually when a game gets into fandom conflict, it causes even more problems and can actually kill everything. So
mhm.
they rely on the fandom to at least try to fix itself, but otherwise,
Uh,
they try not to pick sides.
to get involved.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Just again, give it some time. They'll out someone else as being gay, and then the fandom's just gonna lose their minds once again. It's gonna be
Please
so
let it be
very
Zarya. I mean, what?
interesting. Why?
I like Zarya.
She could again, I'm pretty sure she would kill most people if she laid with them. Yes, I'm calling her too heavy. Haha. See, it's not a fat joke if I say she's too heavy. Yeah,
I
crazy.
like her.
Ugh,
I really like
fair
her.
enough. And I will say this: I do like fandoms. I love it when they do create interesting concepts, and when the creators acknowledge those interesting concepts. I'm like, yeah, okay. See, these are the people they should be listening to, the ones who actually come up with interesting shit, not the ones that come up with the most cringiest things in the universe and just like what was it saying? I said basically, um, the the cringe was so palpable that I inverted myself into the form of a shrimp from the sheer amount of cringe. I'm calling it now, by the way. We are just going to get completely overrun with just pure Overwatch hate from the fandom. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right, so let's get away from gay dad over here for a moment and move on. That's unfortunately, it's gonna stick, and you know it. Everyone knows it.
Don't have a problem with that at all.
Hmm. Anyway, LT has actually linked some information here in regards to Bungie. I do want to cover this. As of, I believe, a few hours ago, the Bungie, the creators of Halo, being the biggest one, and their current failing game Destiny, has recently announced that they're going full independent away from Activision. And what this could mean is, one of two things. It means that they're probably just sick and tired of constantly being Activision's latest money cow, a la EA, or okay, here we go. I'll skim the article real quick. It's actually not that. I'll read it since it's not that long. It's pretty short. So, the following is from our Destiny, from the Destiny development team. Here, I will give this to you so we can link to the original source. Matt, Pat, and others, please take note. And so here we go. our destiny. When we first launched our partnership with Activision in 2010, the gaming industry was a pretty different place. As an independent studio setting out to build a brand new experience, we wanted a partner willing to take a big leap of faith with us. When we had a vision for Destiny that we believed in, but to launch a game of that magnitude, we needed the support of an established publisher and partner. With Activision, we created something special. Today, delivered a combination of over 50 million games and expand around the world. More importantly, we have also witnessed a remarkable community. Tens of millions of Guardians strong rise up and embrace Destiny to play together, to make and share memories, and even to truly great things to reach far beyond the game we share, to deliver a positive impact on the people on people's everyday lives. Ugh. We have enjoyed a successful 8-year successful.
Well,
Let me let me make a major. We have enjoyed a train wreck of an 8-year run, and would like to thank Activision for fucking us over when it came to Destiny. So yes, that's just it how they really want it. So here we go. Looking ahead, we're excited to announce plans for Activision to transfer publishing for Destiny to Bungie. With our remarkable Destiny community, we are ready to publish on our own, while Activision will increase their focus on owned IP projects. Translation: we're calling it quits with Activision since they have been fucking us over, and we're telling them to shove it. The planned transition process is already underway and in its early stages, with Bungie and Activision both committing to making sure that the handoff is as seamless as possible. Again, translation: Activision is trying to take as much of the original IP as humanly possible, and now we are fighting over everything we can. With Forsaken, we've learned and listened and leaned into what we believe our players want from a great Destiny experience. Rest assured, there is more on the way. We deliver an roadmap, and we're looking forward to releasing more seasonal experiences into the coming months, as well as supporting our community with some about what lies beyond. AKA, we're free from Activision. Look forward to something much better than the shit we've been pumping out thanks to Activision. Thank you so much for your continued support. Our success is owed in no small part to the incredible community of players we have who have graced our worlds with light and life. We know self-publishing won't be easy. There's still much for us to learn as we grow as an independent global studio, but we see unbound opportunities and potential in Destiny. We know that new adventures await us all on new worlds filled with mystery, adventure, and hope. We hope you'll join us there. See you, Starside, Bungie. And that's it. And yes, to basically quote what LT said, thank God we're finally out.
yeah. Thank God we're out of that shit
So the question, what is it? What?
I'm looking at Destiny memes.
Let me see. The only way to get pretty much millions of guardians in the Destiny universe. Only 6 fight the big alien demon at a time. Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I found a better one. Here you go.
Oh man. But I guess it's just still better story than Will. Actually, never mind. It's not. Yep. Yep. Pretty much. And this is the big. This is quite interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes now. But so my big question is: are they going to start making their games? Are they going to go the the digital extremes route and start making them free to play and grow from there, like moving forward. I would assume not, mostly because they do need to make a mint in order to keep the studios going. And I mean, what Digital Extremes has like, what is it? About like 20 people or maybe like 100.
Don't know.
Well, we know it's a small company and yet they've been able to make survive just fine. So I don't know, maybe there's hope for Bungie. Truth be told, like I said, I want to see this Bungie post Activision era. And if it's truly going, it's going to be more of the same shit that they without Activision behind them. Again, part of me wants to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they will have our best intentions at heart and actually try to make amazing shit. But another part of me basically is more is more sinister, cynical, and just assumes it's gonna be shit regardless. Oh, and there's the ME right, and there's the Fallout 4 creator, sorry, not creator, Mass Effect mod creator right there in our chat. And she says, honestly, I think they'll finish what they have planned for Destiny 2 and then move on to Destiny 3 for a new start, for better or for worse. Interesting thought. That would be interesting if Destiny 2 just kind of ends in a definitive like ending. And then immediately they Destiny 3 is like a pseudo reboot. Like it's been a million years since the end of Destiny 2, and now the story truly, quick, how do we get rid of all this baggage? Oh, I know. Let's just restart everything. Oh man. Honestly, I want to just kind of see. Okay, no, you have to put that on screen. You have to put that.
Okay.
This one has to be on screen.
Okay.
It's like it's too good to pass up. Hold on, give it a moment, everyone. You're gonna get a kick out of this.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh,
So
there
it
it
should
is.
be on the screen. Oh, there we go. And wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. And come on. That's where it went. You can't unsee it now. Forever, you'll be staring at the crotch of a Spartan's armor. Uh, so I'm positive that was done on purpose. It has to be.
Don't know.
But yeah. So honestly, I want to see. Yeah, pretty reactions. Yep, yep. Now he will never unsee that. And it makes sense. I mean, the big god being in Destiny, at least in the light side, is a giant space ball. So it only makes sense.
Even Spaceballs was better than Destiny.
Oh,
Except for Pizza the
yeah,
Hut. I did not like Pizza the Hut. Ugh.
ugh. But yeah. Honestly, I want to see. Like I said, I'm positive that once the Destiny, once Destiny 3 comes around, I'm fairly positive it's gonna be like 1,000-year time jump or something like that, just to start everything anew. Do a Mass Effect Andromeda, basically. And if they do that, I mean, it would be closer to what they advertised in the original trailers, a reborn golden world, as it is. Not golden world, a reborn golden age. Ugh. Like I said, the future is possible. It's on the horizon. It's just expect a lot of pain going forward. All right. Does anyone want to say anything else? Cover anything before we go on to there it is. On the plus side, we wouldn't have to deal with Zavala after such a time jump anymore. No, please. Let's hope that sometime during this 1,000-year time jump, he just dies. We can finally get someone who's better than Zavala. I mean, I think we've had enough of the bald blue Smurf for a good while now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's what he is. He is a Smurf. He is a space Smurf.
Smurf.
But and again, it's you know what really does suck? Cade is still dead. If they had
No.
done this sooner, and if they do this whole time jump thing, we could have had Cade in the future still being a badass. But
Yeah.
no. If any, I'm fearing the thought that somehow Zavala is just going to survive into this 1,000-year jump by being put into cryo freezer, some bullshit like that.
He sat there and survived all these years on pure hatred.
No, on pure boredom.
That too.
Man, but like I said,
I
I
think,
would love to go.
like, isn't Cade voiced by Nathan Fillion?
Yes.
Then that would actually make sense that Cade would have to die, because that guy's busy as fuck. Like,
Well,
he
you know what's
has a
funny?
TV series out now that he's the main star in.
Which is probably going to get canceled again, like every other TV series he does. The poor man is cursed.
With Firefly, it was just because they were running out of ideas. Like, every idea they came up with was way too dark for TV.
No, but that's
Castle
the thing.
didn't cancel, it's just done.
Yeah, but still, my point still remains. Sometimes, whenever he does something, it just gets canceled after he's brought on for some strange reason, whether it's ideas or anything. It just. But no, you know, he was busy with other things. He actually was so busy he couldn't come back for the character's death in Forsaken. They actually got someone else to do an exact facsimile of his voice and mannerisms. I think it was the guy who voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted games. What's his name? Nolan North. That's it. They got Nolan North to play Cade, ironically for Cade's death.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
I kind of noticed that the voice was a little off.
Tell, but that's mostly because I hear Cade on, because I've always heard Cade on and off, that I didn't notice the change until someone pointed it out, and then I couldn't help but think, wait a minute, that is Nolan North.
I've been
Fuck.
watching like Firefly Castle for years now. I know Nathan Fillion's voice very, very well. I don't know Nolan North at all. I don't watch the Uncharted series at all. So I noticed
his
right
voice
away that he wasn't voiced by the same guy.
No, Nolan North is just generic action hero voice guy. That's basically his entire rep sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And again, nothing against Nolan North. I don't hate it. It's just, my God, have a better range of emotion. Fuck's sake. Or accent, sorry. Ugh.
I definitely noticed that it wasn't him when he asked about the guy's sister.
I was your sister. Second greatest burn in the Destiny universe. First one was the speaker basically. No, the first one was actually my favorite, where the big bad. The fuck was that?
I don't know.
That actually scared me for a second. I was like, and there's the ghost. But anyway, but it basically Space Turtle Gaul has the speaker trapped, and he asks, "Why? How is it that your guardians are immortal?" or something to that effect. And then he basically says, "Devotion breeds bravery, bravery breeds sacrifice, sacrifice breeds death." He does this whole like Yoda thing, and then immediately when Gaul's like, "What do you mean by death?" He says all that, and then immediately looks at him and says, "So, feel free to kill yourself." It's like, motherfucker, that's gold. But like I said, there are good moments in Disney. does go into Destiny 3 if they manage to get this far. And again, if they do a whole time jump skip, I'm gonna be so very happy. It'll be a new setting, new time, new everything. Get back to closer to the original source or whatever they want, and just kind of introduce new shit. I'm looking forward to that.
That's what everybody was looking forward to with Andromeda. Look how that
Well, Andromeda just was a victim of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yep.
Also, a racist fucker and some dumb bitch who had no right in game industries, but whatever. Whatever.
We're not holding judgment.
Yeah. No, it's just, like I said, it's like I call out I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move right along then. So we'll go into Warframe. This one's a bit of a quick one,
Mhm.
mostly because it's been like, what's the word? It has just basically been revealed to be a thing or a possible thing, and that is the creation of two new forma for the game. And I'm going to use, I believe, Zito's uh, thumbnail. So I'm not gonna, I'm not claiming I've done this. I'm just gonna borrow his. It's the best one that has a proper image of it. So these are the new formas coming to Warframe, and they are referred to. The top one is known as the Omega form, which kind of looks like the devil, but whatever. And the second one, the one at the bottom, is called Umbral forma. This apparently is going to be what you use to like put Umbral mods or the capacity for Umbral mods into into your
Warframe.
to upgrade things basically. And truth be told, I don't like this. I really don't. First off, because we already know what the grind pool's like, just to get Forma on its own, and how difficult that is to begin with. So imagine how much more of a grind it's going to be to get not only the normal Forma, but now these other Formas.
I mean, the worst they could do is that you would have to combine Forma and Exilus adapter and a potato or a blue tato, or both, into a one Forma to make one of these.
That would be a nightmare all on its own.
Yeah, just like combine all the rarest and hardest to get shit for that.
Exactly. And even then it won't do anything good. And this has been my issue with Warframe as a whole. Why I always dread something new when it comes to not even operate, Warframe weapons, equipment, whatever you want to call, whatever you want to use. And that is the constant new grind for it. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea how to mod anything to God Killer levels. I'm just I honestly don't know what mods work with what. I don't know what this does and that. I always go flat out, let's just add a bunch of damage to just one thing and call it a day. I have no aptitude for min-maxing whatsoever. And yet somehow I'm still around.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just kind of like looking at this, and then there's gonna be a meta for this form and that and this and that and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a nightmare, a pure, unadulterated nightmare if this is the case. And I get it. I know why DE's probably doing it. It's to bolster, the profit margins, and it's also to add much needed things to the game. But this isn't like the good kind of what's needed for the game. People are complaining about content droughts, and this has been a problem with Warframe as a whole. The constant I get it. People can't work on the game 24/7, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But the problem is more to do with there is too much of a gap between new things for the grinds and everything. And the only way I think, and this has been a suggestion I've said from day one, and that is I think DE should create things outside of the interest going. The comics kept the interest going for the ghouls and everything leading up to their release. That's why so many people, to this day, actually jump on ghoul alerts to fight them. That's why so many people are excited about fighting them. And that said, it's why like I said, that it's why the ghoul hunts are still a thing. Why people are going to them within minutes of them coming out, and it's already like down to 50% within a day or something close to it. And that's what I think DE should do. I think DE should create things. Um, oh god, what's the word I'm looking for here? Things outside of the game itself to keep the interest going. Specifically, um, things that will keep the people entertained. And I've mentioned they should with someone to create some sort of Warframe. Um, what's the word? Some sort of Warframe animation or movie or something like that to keep people entertained, even if it's just supplementary at best. It would keep the content drops from being such a big hassle, keep people interested in Warframe as a whole, I think.
Yeah.
And again, it's like I said, maybe someone should also what's the word I'm looking for here? Maybe someone should maybe DE should partner with someone from YouTube or whatever you want to use to create this. Because there are people out there who would love to jump on the opportunity to make something official based on what DE wants
Plus,
from them.
like, for the fan stuff that we've seen, like Omni Voice is a good example where, like, the little skits he makes with the game itself, a lot of the fans would happily jump on board with the idea of making a video or a movie or something for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, the tools are there. And Omni Voice has proven it. Like, even with his bare minimum, not bare minimum, like, not in a bad way, the bare minimum camera work and settings and everything still gets people coming to his show or his TV or his animations because they are so well, well written, well animated, and well done.
Yeah.
And yet, that problem, the problem still stems from DE having just no real time or no real passion, I would say, to make something out of around Warframe. That's what I feel is lacking. That drive, that true, honest passion to make something stick out and truly be fascinating.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a sad thing. I mean, what was the guy who made what is it? The guy that made that 80s intro style cartoon for
Where
Warframe 14.
Oh, Mashed. That's the guy who
Yeah,
animated it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, look at what MASH made. And honestly, when I saw that, my immediate thought was, can we get a super cheese Warframe cartoon
But when I
just for
saw
the
that, I thought,
content?
okay, are they gonna have a cartoon now? This is gonna be awesome. Then I watched it and went, oh, never mind.
It, it's just an intro to a show that never will happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just like saying to like, why?
such a tease.
Exactly. I mean that cartoon looked amazing. I mean, they were clearly trying to emulate how much of the 80s cartoons of the time had shit going on. And it's really freaking obvious that they poured in their passions, their heart, their everything into this and truly made it shine. And
Yeah,
it got people like you and me wanting something like this to I mean I mean, as funny as it sounds, I can see this incredibly cheesy show actually working. It just all a la Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Street Sharks or anything like that. I can see
Or
that
the cringy
happening.
GI Joe.
Exactly. I can see that happening with like just this theme of shredding the Valis and just having, quote unquote, life lessons and everything they do, yada, 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 like say no to drugs and shit like I can see it happening. And honestly, like I said, I think Mashed, is it? Or
Hmm.
Smashed?
Mashed.
Man, okay. Mashed. I honestly, because they did the first cartoon, which was like 100 Days of Warframe, which was
I've
more,
watched that so many times now. I like Ortis's
yeah,
voice line.
the Flood. I mean, the Infested.
I like when
But,
he's like selecting things, he's like, nice. All that shit.
but that's my point. Mashed did that, and it was more of a microcosm of this anime sort of thing, just getting things together and, you know, the stereotypical that it had, but also proved that MASH had a flair for the eccentric. Good eye for animation, good um a good way of conveying a story without facial expressions or anything.
Yeah. Like, we're going on about animations. Like, let's not forget about how crazy good the music scene is when it comes to the fandom.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh my god, they're so creative. Uh, have you seen the Octavia band?
I've heard of them. Yeah,
Like, the Octavia band are able to make full blown songs with just the tools they're given in the game. Like, it doesn't matter if you can hear Octavia casting her ability, it works into the song. And they're so good. Like, I've been listening to their music over and over again. I'm trying to find that 100 Days
exactly.
of Warframe because I find it very funny.
But again, like I said, Mash and these people, they can make again, the community is keeping Warframe afloat during these content droughts. And I honestly think DE should flat out go to Mashed and not even that, but the whole what was it? Let's not even forget um the whole Grinch thing they had going on for Christmas.
Yeah.
That was that was silly, but I could honestly look at that and say, yeah, this is probably something in universe. I'm pretty sure this exists in universe somewhere. Probably in Fortuna. Yeah, but I honestly think DE should officially come to MASH and say, you know what, we want you to start making officially making like animations and things for Warframe. We'll pay you whatever, just yada yada yada.
You know what I like
Yep.
about the uh the music video?
Mm.
It reminds me of the cartoon version of the Clone Wars.
Oh, the 2003 version.
Like just how it's animated. It makes me think about it.
Yeah, I believe it was the same people who did Samurai Jack. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Mm.
But like I said, there is potential. I guess the official in-universe propagandists for the Tenno, I guess you could say, fairly certain, anyways. And like I said, DE should really look into just branching out, asking someone to make an official thing, maybe like I said, story related to Warframe. Because again, there is a potential there. There really is.
Granted, it's very gory. Because I just got to Garuda just tearing people apart. I forgot about that part.
Exactly. That's what I find funny about the 80s Warframe cartoon. The fact that it is so violent. And when I was watching it, my immediate thought was I can already see the censors at work editing out the blood and gore and just replacing everything with an explosion effect. Just
Yeah,
like in
like
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers. Like their suits are made of cloth, very thin cloth, and they're being slashed in the chest by a sword. Sparks everywhere.
Exactly. It's still so very, yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's very funny. And I'm pretty sure that if this show actually became something in the 80s, there'd be just so much editing out the blood and gore and just having, like I said, explosion effects everywhere. It's just looking so dumb. And the whole time I'm watching the 80s cartoon, I'm wondering, like, if they actually go through with this, do they keep the blood and gore in it, or are they just going to flat out um, just remove it for the sake of, more mainstream
No,
appeal, I
Rev
suppose.
Confetti, like Serious Sam. That's still my favorite part about that game. The fact that in Serious Sam, you can change the sensor, so instead of blood and gore, it's like sprinkles and glitter and candy.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes, and
also,
or
when when
go
when
on.
you play Warframe, you're able to turn off the gore, and it's instead just replaced with energy. So it's very likely they're just gonna switch it to that. Because for the longest time, when I first played Warframe, I never saw gore at all. I never saw blood. And for some reason, I compared it to the walrus from Alice Madness Returns eating the oyster girls, because all you see is juice.
Yes. Or donuts, yes.
Mm.
But exactly. I personally, I don't know if this anime thing would become, if it was to become a thing. I don't know if people would ask, or if they would just go for it and just kind of like keep it 80s aesthetic, or just keep it as bloody and gory as possible and try to play it up as seriously as possible. Like the death is played up for seriousness when the situation occurs, but the rest of the show is like, lighthearted and very, very campy. Actually, no, no, no. You know what that reminds me of? Like flat out, that Mortal Kombat TV show,
Oh god.
Defender. I believe it was called Defend. Hold on, I need to look this up now. Google away. Let's see here. Mortal Kombat. Here we go. Defenders of Earthrealm. Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. It was this. Oh my god! It was this incredibly kid-friendly version of Mortal Kombat, and I remember seeing this show and like they, they would people into submission, and there was never any like explicit gore. The only time I think there was when they were bringing somebody back from the dead. You just saw a pile of bones on the floor, and then as the bones are like slowly being raised up with magic, a cloth is put over them, and then immediately the guy just appears. I don't know why you would do that. I mean, it's clear it's just bones, but whatever, whatever. Yeah, I know it's crazy to imagine being kid friendly, but it was a thing. You know what? Let me find an image just to show. Yeah, the main cast. Here we go. Let me see if I can find a better resolution than this shit. I'm trying to remember what the animation style reminds me of, because I remember seeing this somewhere else, and now it's bothering me. Like I'm remembering it. Oh god, it's in the back of my mind. Like I want to say gargoyles for some reason, but I don't think it's the same animation, the same style. This is probably gonna be the best one. You're gonna have to blow this one up a bit.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do everything shit, but apparently everything's in low quality. So fuck my life. Oh god, yeah. I heard about those kid-friendly 40K books. I am not excited.
Gargoyle.
Yeah. Okay. So it is gargoyle animation.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh wait,
Close
no.
to it.
Now I find a better resolution, like the box cover for the shit, and immediately we already have this shit. Ugh. Eh. It was just super kid friendly, talking about coming up with the cringiest catchphrases for combat and just shit of that. Even
Either
the villain,
Gargoyles or Road Rovers. Because Gargoyles was a
one or
little
the
newer.
other.
Yeah, so it had to be Road Rovers.
God. Yeah, and there it is, the kid-friendly Mortal Kombat.
Woohoo. Like, I vaguely recognize everybody here.
It's clear they copied everyone from the game directly. Props to them for doing that. It's just, why would you make this? Mortal Kombat does not work if you take out the violence and gore. It's proven. It's a proven case.
Yep.
I mean, need we point to the movies and how much they sucked?
Well, no.
I mean, truth be told, I like the movies. It's just from a Mortal Kombat point of view. Yeah, this is there is there is a need for something to get better.
God damn it, now I want to watch the movies.
It's hold on a sec. I need to go tend to something real quick. Give me 5 quick seconds.
Yeah, sure. Oh boy. I was supposed to make dinner tonight. Oh well, I'll still have some time. Yeah, yeah. It's weird when companies do that. Try and appeal or at least appease to different age demographics, different uh, viewers, and it just doesn't work.
I'm back. What I miss?
Uh, Talking about trying to find the wider audience thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny? I remember this show getting, I think it was just 2 seasons, and then immediately getting canceled because no one was watching.
Yeah,
And I can't blame them either because my
which
God,
is hilarious because I've never heard of it.
it appeared so quickly that when it vanished, it was like blink it and you'll miss it, kind of
It was like a fart.
a fart in. And I think I can blame the super, the parents, the same ones who bitched and moan about how violent the game is, even though you didn't do a goddamn thing to keep your kids out of the arcades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like I said. I remember watching the show, liking what they were doing. Like everyone, like if you ignore the cringy kid shit, it did bring a lot of the characters into a certain kind of light, kind of expanded more on some of the characters from the arcades. It was all right. I remember they even what was it? They brought in like some of the villains and kind of explained it, and I remember this clearly. So the TV show that brought Quan Chi into the series, aka the whitest man alive. It's true. Apparently, and this is crazy as it sounds, Quan Chi was never officially part of Mortal Kombat. he only entered the games through the TV show where he was actually not even part of anything. He was apparently some sort of wandering sorcerer. And then the show has him appear, and then apparently Ed Boon and the creators liked him so much that they put him into the games.
Woohoo.
So yeah, if anyone wanted to know where this pasty ass motherfucker came from, well, the TV show brought him in. Go figure. Ah, man. Oh, and I should also mention this. They did also have Scorpion in the show.
Oh no.
Yeah. But credit to them, I'm gonna be completely honest. They did keep the design very close to the arcade games, and tried to make him look really menacing, especially for a kid show. It's just, again, he's still in a kid show setting, so he's not gonna be that menacing. He looks kind of silly, really, when you look at him.
He's got a golden chain. He's got bling.
I think what it was in this episode was something about raise. Oh, right, now I remember what sparked all this. Apparently, in the oh god, in the episode that Scorpion is in, he has an army of undead behind him, following his every command. And the basic idea of it was that he wanted to take over with this army of undead warriors, and so everyone tries to stop him. And when this happens, I remember this very clearly. Jax grabs hold of one of them, like in his arms, and proceeds to crush it. And you would assume, oh, it's a skeleton. It's just gonna, poof, turn to dust or whatever, break into 100 pieces. But they actually censored that. It cuts to a close up of his face as he's crushing the skeleton, and the sound of just bones breaking, and that's it. That is honestly the oddest thing I think I've
That is
ever
like the
heard.
oddest censoring ever.
It's kind of pointless, really, when you think about it, because
It's a skeleton. It's bones.
well, not really. Hold on, I'll just show the design real quick. Sorry for the long pause.
What the hell?
Exactly. The fear me and my arm bad henchmen.
Fear me and my army of Skeletor and Shredder siblings.
Exactly.
They all look like Shredder and Skeletor had babies.
But that's the point I'm trying to get across, is that these characters aren't real. Again, it's clear they're undead. It's clear they're not people, just ghosts, effectively. Sorry, they're monsters. So you would think, okay, one turning to dust and like getting crushed violently, it's not a big thing. I mean, cartoons from this era did similar to inhuman enemies. That's the only way they ever got away with gore in something. But no, they just cut to him head crushing and just bone snapping, which I find quite odd. Again, like I said, the show had moments of brilliance where some of the characters were actually well voiced, had credible, what's the word? Credible motivations and whatever else have you. But by the same time, what's the word? But by that same moment, there were just really, really stupid, stupid things happening that made me question. Well, actually, didn't make me question, but made me glad the show got canceled. For better or for worse. Oh, hold on. What's this? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You want to hear something funny?
What?
Like flat out? So the guy, the cop, Stryker,
Mm-hmm.
in the show, he was actually voiced by Ron Perlman.
Oh God. Oh
That's
no.
I'll send the question to him next opportunity I get. So what was it like playing as striker? I want to see his reaction. Oh, Jesus Christ. The shit you don't expect to know. Uh, all right. I guess we've kind of just enough of that, I suppose. So, yeah. Let's move right along, I suppose. And my list has now glitched out. What the fuck? Okay. So we're going on to our last topic before the monthly things. You have your monthly mom picked, yes?
Yeah,
Okay, good,
I have,
good.
I have everything set up.
Okay. So our last topic before we enter the monthly topics is Metro Exodus. It's recently revealed open world came out uh, a day or so ago. I think 2 days, counting now. And it basically showed us the state of the world as it is right now. So basically, based on the trailers, you are going from the metros, and the plan is to basically come back to the surface and kind of just slowly over time reclaim the world. Like it's been long enough for like the radiation to subside slightly. There are more people out there in the world than expected. And maybe now is a time to start, coming back to the surface. That's the plan, at least. So basically, Fallout 76, but better. Yeah, I went there. I said it. What you gonna do about it? Just, man, but yeah. So the trailer basically showed us a few interesting things. First off, how uh, the main method of transportation this time around is going to be a massive steam-powered train, which will move from one point of the world to the next and covering more ground that way. In the trailer, it showed a few other locations. Basically, the ice is finally starting to thaw out in some places. The greenery's returning, and the wildlife, while still toxic and dangerous, is um it's still coming back. You could effectively start a new life here if you were. During this trailer, the characters who will be going out into the world will be Artyom and his wife, the woman from the last Metro game. I actually forget her name. It's like Anna, I think, or Anya, some one of those two. And basically, so it's her, him, and a few others will be accompanying the two across uh, what's left of Russia. In fact, even Anya's father actually flat out does not like the plan. He actually thinks that Artyom is like poisoning her mind and he's gonna get her killed. And it's his responsibility, to take care of his wife, not to put her in harm's way like this. And that's his point of view on it. There's also a new character who was shown towards the end of the trailer. I do want to show her real quick. So far, there's no name given to this character. And, if you want to put it on screen, put it on screen if you want. But this is her. This is this lady. And I'm curious to know where's she from, proper.
Mm,
Since it's on the screen, yeah. Basically, she is an Asian woman, armed with, a chemical scar on the left side of her cheek. And let's not mince words. She's out of place here, based on facial expression, facial features alone. And it makes you kind of wonder: is this like implying that we'll be like slowly entering China at some point, or other regions of the world, like Asia in general? Is that what's going to happen, or is she like someone who came to Moscow or to Russia proper, and is doing the same thing we're doing, looking for people to assist. What do you think?
No. Also, China is not the only Asian country directly connected to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I corrected myself towards
There's
the end.
also Mongolia.
Mongolia, Vietnam.
No, Vietnam is
Uh,
very far down.
no, no, I'm screwing up my geography. Again, I'm not the best geographist in the world. But it isn't just that. There are problems heading out. I think it's eastward. I think they're going. One or the other. Basically, they're not the only ones who are on the surface now. As it turns out, other people are doing the same thing. They're coming to the surface and have begun to settle the surface as a whole. One of the two groups that were shown is, first off, I believe it's a continuation of not the Red Army, the Nazi Russians from the second game. Because in the trailer, you do see a medical individual just having a bunch of. No, actually, hold on. No, 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 my mistake, my mistake. It is the Red Line. The Soviets are still a major mistake. But basically, they've come back to the surface. Their whole plan is let's slowly take over the world effectively and bring communism back to the glorious nuclear wasteland we call now home. Spoiler alert, it's not going to end well. It's going to collapse again. That's fine. But yeah, so uh, that's what was shown. Basically, these guys are not, they're not playing antagonist factions, and maybe you're going to be going after this guy most of the game, probably. I would assume, anyways. Let's see. I don't know if Pavel is going to make a return to this game. It would be interesting. Going to show that the canon choice is letting him live.
Communism. Hope not.
Yeah. Anyway, so of course we got them, and we actually have another group heading out into the wilderness. I believe it's a desert region, which is basically what is it? Basically a group of Marxists out west. They've literally reconstructed Karl Marx's head through scrap metal, and they're just preaching the same ideals he preached. The whole people work for the community, not themselves, blah, 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 blah. Slavery without the slavery tag, I suppose. However, this group also does mention, what's the word? It also mentions, oh my God. It also mentions the concept of survival, effectively. The concept of Charles Darwin's survival of the fittest throughout the entire trailer. When it comes to the Marxists, they do mention blah, 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 but they also mention those changes. And this is what's led to this next image. And something very,
What?
very interesting. You'll see.
Oh.
They're not beasts. They speak. They're sane. Well, speak in choppy words, I suppose. But they're sane. They're capable. And they even mention, they say men, weak, yada, 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 implying that they believe themselves to be the next step in, I guess, the human evolution, give or take. It's, again, but it's shocking, especially considering what we've seen leading up to the Metro series. We've seen non-humanoid beings in the games before, i.e., the Dark Ones and the Librarian. So it's not too much of a stretch to imagine these are just another one of those pseudo-humanoids of I guess, the Metro universe.
Maybe.
It's just, I do find them. Go ahead.
I said maybe. I have nothing else to say.
Oh, all right. I do find it odd, and I do want to like I said, I want to see You know, it's clear they have adaptations to surviving out here, and it's kind of obvious they're much smarter and are clearly evolving. It's just where's this going is what I want to see.
But the big
I
question
also
about this game is it gonna be
Mhm.
better than Fallout 76?
The answer is yes. It's all
Like
anything at this
we're talking about this game, and all I'm hearing is that stupid song in my head. But
West
instead of like
Virginia.
West Virginia, it's Mother Russia.
Oh man, calling it now. People are just going to buy this and spite Bethesda
Mm-hmm.
like day one.
Regardless of it being bad, as long as it doesn't
Oh
fuck
yeah,
you
definitely.
over.
I don't doubt it. Again, we're talking about the game series that is penned by a man who flat out loves the fan community and loves the fact that they've made his series into such an amazing thing. So no, I don't believe it's gonna screw anyone. I would hope, anyways. But yeah, like I said, this game has potential. There's much that was shown, and some of the trailers do show what Artyom looks like underneath the helmet, which a surprise, really. I mean, Artyom. You hear the name, you don't think, you think helmet or helmeted individual. You don't, you don't think, hey, where's his face? Typically, anyways. I mean, yeah. At the end of the second game, even when he activates the bomb to take out the bunker, you still see him in his helmet, and to me, that's Artyom. The man in the helmet, but is incredibly capable. I like Master Chief, only I like him a bit more. Again, more relatable, I should say. Yeah. Again, I'm looking forward to this game. I want to see where this goes. I have high confidence. I truly believe it's going to be something worth playing.
Just overall better than Bethesda.
Yeah, and like I said, I want to see how much time has, passed from the last game. It did obviously we can assume that Artyom's son was born, already and probably is, but I want to know, like, is he a baby? Is he being taken care of by relatives, or is he just, a very small kid who just can't come with them and is being watched over by his grandfather? I want to see whether it's one or the other, so to speak. Like I said, there is potential, and the other thing I really want to see, I want to the see what they've been up to since the end of the second game, where they've been since the second game. Have
You
they
don't see
started
what?
to read the Dark Ones?
Ah,
Like I want to see where they've been, how they've gotten along since leaving Moscow. Do they still resent Artyom for what he did, or have they like kind of moved on and as their nature implies, passive after that? Again, it would be nice to see, and again to see the Dark One child, see how he's grown up since the end of the second game. Again, it's like seeing your nephew when he's still a little kid, and then coming back 10 years later and seeing how they've grown up since then.
yeah.
Weird way to put it, but you know what I mean.
Oh no, I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah. All right. I guess that covers everything. I just want to say something else there.
Be ready for Fallout in Russia. Fallout Russia, much better than Bethesda.
And I hope they do like a joke thing at some point to spite Bethesda. Just an Easter egg, maybe of a destroyed Vault Boy bobblehead, or just the remnants of a
Please.
Pit Boy. Just to really stick to Bethesda.
What
Hey,
would
look,
really
we
stick
made a
to
better game.
Bethesda is a rocket shaped bottle.
Yes.
Or like a joke where the person collects bottle caps and like tries to give it to somebody. They go, "What is this? This isn't currency. This is shit." No.
Exactly. Ironic coming from a universe that values bullets more as currency. Uh, I'm waiting Metro's jabs at Bethesda. I'm really waiting for that. This is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess with that, we will move on to our things of the month.
Yeah, so every month or so we try to decide a Mobile Suit Gundam or Pokemon of the month. Of our choice, by the way. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you always go first, so.
Alright. So, it's January. I probably should have just picked one myself, and since January is me and Bill's birthday month. But we didn't. In fact, Bill's not even here right now. So after multitudes of wheel spinning and then realizing how pathetic the choices were, and how tiny the choices were, and how useless they were, we finally have a Pokemon of the month. It is another starter, like last month, which was Charizard. This month is, get him? Tepig! Little fiery
Yay.
pig! He's so cute! He is, like, very quickly
call-
becoming one of my favorites.
I shall call him Bacon.
Yep. By the way, his hidden his hidden ability is called Thick Fat. The best thing I can think of is that this Pokemon, obviously it's a pig. Like, here's the thing about pigs. They have amazing senses of smell. Like, absolutely amazing. They're not joking when they say that they can find truffles better than a dog. But the thing about this Pokemon is it finds berries and then it roasts the berries before it eats them or burns them to a crisp. So what I'm thinking is, like, I can hear myself.
Yeah, I don't know why that's doing
Anyway,
that.
what I'm thinking is, when people make preserves, like jams and jellies, they cook the berries first. So what I'm thinking, like, this guy would be perfect for a one of those berry farms that make preserves, where he'll cook the berries, they take them back. Yeah, they'll take them back and then turn them into the preserves, something like that.
All right.
Again, like, when we pick these Pokemon things, we're not thinking of, oh, we're gonna raise these things to be the ultimate fighter to take down a legendary Pokemon or the master trainer or something like that. No, we pick these for practical use, something you would have in everyday life. What I find very cute is that it shoots fire out of its nose instead of its mouth. And when it catches a cold, the fire becomes black smoke. So please, for the love of all, don't let your Tepig get a cold. But it's not just Tepig. It's not just like the little piggy that's the Pokemon of the month. It's the entire evolutionary line. I can get this to work. My mouse has been freaking out.
Yes, because it hates you. As is all technology.
My mouse will suddenly randomly scroll one more tick after I've let it go. With this one, I think this one would be a bit more for entertainment purposes. Because what the description says is when its internal fire flares up, its movements grow sharper and faster. When in trouble, it emits smoke. Whatever it eats becomes fuel for the flame in its stomach. When he's angered, the intensity of the flame increases. So yeah, definitely entertainment, or at the very least, keeping your house warm. And they are a fighting Pokemon too. God, there's so many
again,
fighting fire starters now.
yeah, that was actually a joke some time ago where people were just so sick of the
Yeah.
firefighters. I get
Firefighters. Like the first time that came around, which was with like Blaziken, it was funny because there's a chicken that kicks.
true.
And finally, my favorite, Embor, a giant ass pig. Embor for
Little
the win.
boar.
Yeah. I still prefer Houndoom and Charizard and Ninetales and Arcanine.
You know, the design of Embor really does shows it is taken from an what is it in design?
Hmm?
The Embor's body, the way it's drawn out with the symbols and everything. I believe that's Tibetan design.
Like the thing with with Embor and Pignite, which was the previous one, I get Wind Waker vibes when I look at them. Like
Not
they look like they
surprising,
belong
really.
in the Wind Waker games. Or yeah, Legend of Zelda.
Again, it's not surprising given who's making these games.
So essentially, you can tell how many moves this thing has learned and how powerful it's become by its beard of fire.
Fear
So
me
that's a
and my
beard. I always
flaming
thought it
beard.
was like a collar or something, or a mane.
It doesn't look like it. It looks more like a scarf.
Yeah, that too.
Like if it was a beard, it'd be closer to the. But there's a very clear line where the mouth is separate from I guess fire. I don't know what that is.
If we're talking about the ring that's going around the front of over its shoulders in front of it, that's its beard.
Yeah, but which
It's
again
fire.
isn't connected to anything.
Yeah.
Again, I just look at it and my immediate
Well,
he killed something and was wrapping it around his neck. It's
yeah.
a scarf.
When it came to Embor and Pignite, I couldn't really think of really practical uses except for maybe security or entertainment. This guy especially, because when he wants to fight, he'll stick his fists into the fire to ignite them and just start wailing.
Also, likely.
I mean, for the most part, I picked these guys because I really like them. And I was really tired by the time all those wheel spins were over.
It's like, fuck it, we're done.
Like, did you guys know that there's only 2 dark Pokemon in Gen 7? Only 2. And, like, the psychic Pokemon are pathetic. Well, save for the legendaries. But, like, what practical use do you have for those? And also, flat out, I'm not picking the giant orangutan.
Giant orangutan? What?
In Gen 7, there's a psychic orangutan. I don't like primates. I don't like monkeys. So, no.
Again,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was either the bird that ignores its trainer because it loves to dance so damn much, the deity guardian that not only heals you with its own skin, but it also beats the shit out of you for no reason, or the lion that represents the sun, the bat that represents the moon, or the little fart cloud made from outer space. The fart cloud is really cute, though.
Again, I miss the days when there was only 150 Pokemon.
I know.
What happened to the world?
I stopped paying attention by the time Blaziken came out.
Still, it's like times have changed.
Yep. But yeah, pigs that can kick ass and breathe fire. Love
Yeah,
it.
work as security, and or as I guess a cook, maybe.
It's not very creative this time around.
Yeah. Well, it's a pig. What can you do with a pig, really?
Other than find very rare plants.
Exactly. There's very little else you can pig outside of bacon
In this case, these
and
guys
or
already
ham.
come pre-cooked.
Exactly. So there's little else to do with them.
But
It's like
yeah,
you're just
the,
saying
the
there's like,
Pokemon of the month is Emboar. Not really gonna go too much into explanation for them, or sorry, Tipeg evolutionary line. I guess we're gonna move on to you.
yes. So, as everyone knows here, there's information for it. Excuse me. So this month's mobile suit of the month will be Baku Kai. I mentioned this last Christmas specifically because I wanted to, technically because the mobile suit debuted. The show this one debuted in called War in the Pocket, which was a Christmas show technically, like Die Hard. I don't care what people say. Die Hard is a Christmas. Fucking
I'm
fight.
indifferent.
So yes, as we can now see on the screen here, the Zaku Kai is it's a Zaku as expected. However, the difference in it is that basically this model was several months towards the end of the 1 Year War. Basically speaking, Xeon was too preoccupied in building and or new mobile suit types so much that many of their current suits were completely outdated, lacking parts, and overall just, well, outdated. It became such a problem to get mobile suits into the field that they had actually started reusing old mobile suits, meaning that the obsolete and outdated Zaku 1 saw redeployment almost 9 months after their initial deployment and several years after their first debut, I suppose. Again, it's like having a World War One tank fighting in World War Two. After you have better tanks.
Or World War
Xeon,
II tank fighting a modern day tank.
exactly. Xeon, recognizing this issue, launched and let me just get the the proper saying of this because again I always messed it up. Deployed this as part of their United Maintenance Plan. This plan was basically to take standardized parts from other mobile suits and deploy them more equally amongst their forces. The Zaku received these parts, becoming the Zakukai, or as modified. The Zakukai features a much wider build, thicker armor plating, and more thruster capability. The design of the design of the head is up to the pilot, I suppose, discrepancy. The one on the left is known as the A-type helmet, and the one on the center is the B-type, based off of the Stahlhelm from the German infantry during World War II. Either design of the helmet is whoever. The A-type head is much more desirable as it has visor, meaning that the eye itself has a greater range of view and can see threats much more easily. Again, it's, I suppose, up to the pilot's preference. There is a command variant of both helmet designs, again, based on your rank, I suppose, if you're a captain, commander, whichever. The Zakukai's thruster capabilities also makes it incredibly agile and quick. It's actually able to leap over a two-story or so building quite easily, barely scraping the building itself and landing safely on the other side. Its armor plating is capable of resisting several rounds given time, though it is not invincible. The cockpit is actually much larger, and again, kind of obvious with the broad shoulder, enough to fit a pilot and a civilian in the same space, if such a thing is necessary. And it is double plated, meaning that nothing short of a beam weapon will puncture the cockpit's exterior armor plating, though sustained damage from an assault weapon will eventually pierce it. Not many Zakukais were deployed, as at the time the Gelgu, um, popular grunt-type mobile suits, and were being deployed more freely. The biggest moments where these Zakukais were deployed was again during events of the year 0080, during the events culminating around the War of the Pocket. They were in limited supply and were basically just general purpose mobile suits, as I've mentioned. Overall, compared to an average Zaku, how would I put it? If a Zaku is a grunt in comparison, then the Zaku Kai is a better off grunt unit, basically.
Is a grunt that's being paid.
Yes, more and is given actual better weapons. Speaking of weapons, let's jump right into it. First off, its first weapon is 3-slot grenade rack. These are stored on the right hip of the Kai for convenient access and are 3 hand grenades. The Zakukai's grenades were more compact than the cracker grenade, which is a orb with little sticky pieces on the edges, I suppose. It would be thrown out and then explode. Used by the original Zaku, while not very powerful or accurate, they're capable of performing different roles in battle. The next is, of course, the shoulder shield, as expected. The shield is a simple defense used to block most incoming ballistics and explosive projectiles, also used to great effect in close quarters combat with enemy mobile suits. The Zaku Kai mounts its shield over the right shoulder, as expected. And now the weapon on screen, the MMP 90mm machine gun, an upgraded version of the MMP 72 120mm machine gun. It used 90mm bullets instead of the 120mm type, allowing for a greater speed of firing at a higher rate of penetration. The machine gun is magazine fed with a 32 rounds per mag. The MP80 was also integrated with a grenade launcher under the firepower. The grenade launcher itself is it's an underslot. The grenade wasn't very effective against ships, but it was ideal for mid-range anti-mobile suit weapons, i.e. if you were to face a small tank, it would pretty much destroy it. There is, of course, the 120mm, but that's classic Zaku weapon. And not many were seen with that. And of course, it had its Heat Hawk, the standard bladed weapon. Though this one was much larger and was actually built for 2 hands, not 1, making it a much more, I guess, effective ranged weapon. And some of them even had heat, like the Goof. It also could come equipped with the H&L-SB25K and 280mm P Zaku bazooka, and as standard, it was oftentimes equipped with Sturmfaust. That's basically what covers all its weapons. History-wise, like I said, it wasn't deployed often in battlefields outside of 0080. And of course, they saw limited production due to the nature of the United Maintenance Plan, with only a handful of individuals actually using these mobile suits. Some of them were grunts, and others were more or less. Years later, several years later, during the events of 0096, several years after the 1 Year War, the Zeon remnants would actually manage to get their hold get a hold of a few Zaku Kai units and retrofit them for modern day uses. Unfortunately, many of these would meet their demise in combat, again, ironically, due to their issue being incredibly out of date compared to more modern mobile suits. As for my personal opinion on the Zaku Kai, personally, I think it would have been it's a good grunt unit and it is a step up of the typical Zaku. But it is kind of evident of the changing of the times, when the Gelgu was becoming more preferred over the classic Zaku design itself. It's an intimidating, maybe good for a few skirmishes here and there, but it's not something I would personally ascribe to. Again, if given the choice, I would probably take the Gelgoog, my more recently favorite unit. You know, the uh, Jin, if at all possible.
Mm.
As for, I guess you could say, would you get this as a collector? Probably if you wanted a piece of historical layout, or if you were a customizer. This thing's parts are standardized, so it is possible to build a custom build if you have enough time and spare pieces. That is. So yeah. Uh, any questions, thoughts, anything?
I think I'm gonna take the leg.
And she wants the leg.
Well, you know why.
I know. I'm gonna be honest. Out of this whole thing, I do like I said, I like the broad body type. You know, it's a lot more buff, I guess you could say, compared to the typical Zaku. You know
Mm.
how pseudo scrawny those things look by comparison.
Ugh.
In my personal opinion, if these things were created before the Zaku or the Zaku 2, I think these would have been a better option. You know, if Xeon had actually focused on improving the Zaku 2 instead of just focusing all their efforts on what's the word? Instead of creating experimental mobile suits and the like, they would have probably would have pushed the war into a second year, not just a year, as it typically goes. That said, I do want to shine a spotlight on one of the pilots for this mobile suit. Well, the man who made this famous to begin with. It was piloted by Bernard Weiss. He was honestly a good man for a Xeon pilot, I should say. He The irony is that, well, how do I put it? It was clear he joined up and fought, you know, for I guess national pride. And ironically, he was quite the ace in and of his own right. He's most famous for actually fighting the Alex, the same one that actually killed his friend and made short work of the camphor we covered a month ago. In the end, he honestly put up quite an impressive fight, and actually not only was able to use uh, tactics to draw the Alex out on multiple occasions, weaken it, he was actually able to heavily damage the thing, even decapitate it before the hands of the Gundam. Ironically, the Gundam's pilot was the woman he was following.
He was what?
Oh, what? I said, ironically, the Gundam's pilot was the woman he was falling in love with.
Oh boy.
Fate, fate is that. Well, the thing is that she was Federation, he was Xeon. They didn't know. They actually cared about each other, and ironically, had they, what's the word? Had they not been forced into this conflict, they probably would have been something, and yet wasn't meant to be. And the horrifying thing is the kid he was befriending at the time discovered who the Gundam and tried to stop the fight but failed to do so. Again, it's a kid trying to stop two mechs.
Mhm.
Very little we could do. And when, of course, it was destroyed and Wiseman died with it, you can imagine what happened to him. You know, that kind of effect is easy. Yeah, I suppose we could bookend it with that image. A fitting, excuse me, a fitting end, I think, in my opinion. Yes, apologies for that side tangent. But yes, so that's the mobile suit of the month. Hope you all enjoyed that.
There we go.
Yeah, life really is unfair, isn't it?
Yep.
Fuck, now I'm depressed.
I gotta start drawing another one now that I have replacement nibs for my tablet.
Fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, that was the Zakukai. Actually, before we head off, maybe I should start asking people what mobile suit they'd like to see next
You guys
month.
start that up again?
Probably if it's maybe not with the poll thing, maybe I'll just ask
Alright.
the places I usually go to and see what people want. My neck is killing me now.
Well,
Right.
we still have a link to the wait, no we don't. I don't have that there. Okay. Let me get my Tumblr so you guys can just send messages to me.
All right, there we go. If you've got suggestions on something, please let us know. Honestly, speaking of all this like Zaku and everything, I really need to update my chest. Come up with a new form, I suppose.
Yep.
If anyone's got suggestions on what I should upgrade to, please do let me. I refuse to. Fuck off, Federation. Okay, I have something to show you after this is done. All right, well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. This has been Rev and HH, and we hope you've had a wonderful night.
Yep.
And HH, once again, just take it away and let them know what they can do.
Yeah.
I will see you all next time.
Yeah, you have a good night, dude. I'll handle this. Okay. There's now a link in the description for my Tumblr. I'm going to put it in the Twitch chat as well. So if you guys have any suggestions for the Gundam of the month, then just click that link and message me and I will relay it to Rev. We actually do have a blog for Left for Random Talk. I need to pretty it up a little bit more before we can actually start using it. So, my usual spiel, my usual shtick, what I usually talk about, I usually use that word way too much. In the description on not Tumblr, on YouTube, and down below on Twitch, there's a link and a creeper face that both say support the stream by clicking here. Don't click on it. It does not work yet. I am still very much working on that. I've been distracted with the holidays and just being a derp. So don't click on it. Instead, what would be very helpful is if you guys spread the word whenever we go live. I post the links on my Tumblr, I post the links on my Twitter. Just spreading out there, letting people know when we're streaming, that really helps. We stream this podcast every Thursday. Try to, at least. And the time schedule has changed from being late at night to a little bit closer to the middle of the day at 2 p.m. West Coast USA time and 5 p.m. East Coast USA time. So figure that out on your own there. Personally, I try to stream every day. I've not been able to do that for a while because I have 2 dogs I have to take care of. On Saturday, actually, for the most part, I am a part of my friend Like and Alpha's streams. And whenever I'm not streaming, we're hosting his channel, so definitely check him out. In fact, we're going to be hosting him after this. I gotta move this to the end screen. Oh, nope, that still says Happy Holidays. YouTube, unfortunately, this is going to be the end. On Sundays, I stream. It can be either video games, artwork, you never know. But, would love to have you guys join me. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next Thursday. I will be seeing you guys on Saturday because there's D&D. I'll see you on Sunday, hopefully. And yeah, have a good night, everybody.